Hello, and welcome to another episode of Glass Half Full with Ty and Jen.
Hi.
And we have an amazing discussion with you today. So, today's discussion is
Life in a blender?
pretty much how do you stay stress-free amongst the chaos that's going on in the world? Like, how do you actually dodge the blaze of that blender? So, anything you want to start off with? Any addition?
Well, we've talked before about keeping your house clean. And that is literal and physical. So I'll start off by talking about the literal, and then I'll let you talk about, or I'm going to talk about the physical, and I'm going to let you talk about the literal. How's that sound?
Right.
Does that work?
No, right.
Okay. So as far as the physical, you don't necessarily have to have a showroom home. So nobody's saying if you have life, you have kids, you're working, he's working, and things are going crazy, that your house can't be a little bit drop off here, drop off there. You have pets, that's all fine. But if you watch like an episode of like Hoarders, you'll see that the people that are living in those chaotic situations with garbage and there's no room of peace, you'll see that they don't have peace. And at the end, they come in, they clean up their house, and they really go through a serious struggle with their inner being and letting stuff go. And what people don't realize is not only is that just a reflection of their house, but that's kind of like a reflection of all of us. Whether it's an argument between two people that love each other, whether it's something that happened at work, whether it's something that happened with your kids, you have to learn to let it go. And when you start learning to let go, you start opening up stuff. You open up room in your home. You open up room in your heart, in your head. You start opening up room for your feelings. Right. And when you're able to do that, you start finding peace. So like in the episode of Hoarders, in all the episodes that they allow them to get help, they say it was a struggle, but I'm getting there. I'm getting the help that I need, and I'm finding peace.
Yeah.
So
to add to that, it's, your home is your foundation. You can't go anywhere on the outside and be the best version of yourself if you haven't gotten home intact. And same with the cleaning of the house and of the home. The entities that you bring in, you don't want it to hide under anything. You don't want it to get attached to anything. And you don't want to bring anything in your house. You want your house to be decluttered. So when it comes time to actually cleanse it, that it doesn't take much and there's not too many hiding places for the little critters.
So I know what you do, but what do you do to cleanse your home? Because we have events.
Oh, yeah.
So we have people over, and there are some people that we have, and we are just so super excited, and there are other people we look and we're like, hey, we're going to cleanse this, right?
Right.
So what do you do as the man of the house?
So me, what I do when I know we're having a function and we're having some people come over on that part, I would say the 23rd Psalm in the house 3 times. I walk through the house before the people get there. I walk through the house and speak that over the home, speak it over the house, and we burn sage candles on that part in the middle. So it's like if you can't do the sage, you won't enter the home on that part. And then we will actually say the 23rd Psalm when everyone leaves to make sure nothing fell off, got dropped off, or decided they wanted to stay while we had the function. Now,
I want to say a little bit about the sage, because you're very spiritual.
Right.
And I am biblical/spiritual.
Right.
We both have a lot of truths that we stand on. We both compromise on a lot of things. We can see each other's eye to eye, which is also very important in having peace in your home. So on that, I do want to share a little story about sage in our home. Just a real one.
Okay.
So we had an episode where there was someone who was in our home, and they worked for us, and it was a constant of every day they came in, it was utter chaos. From the time they got here till the time they left, just chaos.
It was a whirlwind. It wasn't on us in our home. It was a whirlwind that they brought with them
Yes.
inside the house with them and tried to, you know.
Like, it was just constant emotional and physical chaos. There was no break ever. And so at the very end of this
Relationship.
this 4-month relationship, there was something that had happened, and this person was completely dead to the world. And he videotaped
like,
it. So,
like literally, they were traumatized.
yeah. And so he videotaped it because he's like, you're not going to believe this. So he videotapes what has happened in the house, and this person is dead to the world, and he is screaming and yelling, and he's throwing books, and they are not responding. And he is 10 foot away from them. And he's like, well, I got to call 911 because this person is actually dead.
If I would have heard me screaming, if I was asleep, I would have woken up.
Yeah, there's no way that this person should have heard him by all means necessary. And he was like, well, you know, and the mouth was wide open on this person. He thought this person had literally just died like that, like it was nuts. And so he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm going to spray sage in the house, and I'm going to call 911 and tell them that this person is now dead in our home. And he sprayed sage, and this person came right up, ready to go, oh my gosh. Like,
they didn't miss a beat. Didn't think anything happened.
Yeah.
Didn't know time anything on that.
so if your spirit is a conflicting spirit, no, it is not in the Bible. It is not in there about sage, but it is a 4,000-year-old ritual that was done. It's one of the very first practices.
And to keep the spiritual bad entities away.
And whether you are pro, con, up, down, whatever, they can't. It ain't. Sorry, like it's not going to happen. They're going to stay away. And so keep that in mind, that a lot of these spirits are attached to a lot of things. So spirit recognizes their realm and their world. So even if you're one of those people that are like, well, I believe this and I believe that, the spirit is attached to that, which it'll flee from it because it recognizes what it needs to flee from.
Right. So one thing you never have to worry about, you being right standing with God. You know, your light from God will actually, you know.
And we're not saying to spray sage and don't pray. We're not saying that.
Yeah, you know, it's just a mix of the spiritual and the religion. So that's a whole nother show that we will do. It is coming to explain it. It's one in the same.
They're going to have to break out a water hose for that one, because that one's going to get heated.
Well, it's one in the same. You still love God. You still love Jesus in the spirituality part, but it's just more of the natural without the rules and regulation of religion. So enough of that. We're back to the
But that's okay. It just lets people know what's coming next. That's all right.
Right.
So we're going back to cleansing. We're going back to all of that. So
like,
you do a prayer. You read the psalm. You do the cleansing of the house with the white sage.
So just want to tell them about the episode of we're very festive people. So from Halloween to Christmas, this house is full. It's decorated.
Completely decorated, top to bottom.
Especially Halloween with the 12-foot animatronics and all that. So we've always had the yard full of animatronics and all that good stuff. So this one year, Jen had an idea. She had an idea that she wanted to run a haunted house through the house. And I'm like, you do? Wow.
It did not go over well at first.
Well, my mind was like, I'm going to have to do a lot of praying. We're going to have all these little demons and spirits just running through the house, just dropping things off. And it was like, can we do it part of the house? Only half. You know, we just something that we took.
Just to do like a little horseshoe.
It was a beautiful thing. Yet there's just still things that you do have to be concerned about. You do have to be concerned about who you invite into your home and what they're carrying on them, and just the people that you actually hang around with or be around with, and the intentions that they have when they do come into your home. A lot of people actually can say they're fair with you, yet at the same time, they have a lot of hate and a lot of envy toward you. So it's always good to protect your home on the spiritual part of that aspect.
Absolutely.
So, and when sharing that before we leave the home part, I want to speak on being a man of the cleansing part, on how it is. A lot of the weight really does come on you because you are the leader of the home. You take the lead. The people in the house are following you. So it's the steps that you take, the way that you represent yourself, the way your light shine really does reflect on the cleanliness and keeping a lot of that chaos and that stress away from you. The more your light shine, the less the darkness stay away from you. And it all does come into like one of the episodes we had of manifestation and your mind and your thought process on how to keep your frequency up, keep your mind on a good positive level to actually sweep these things away from you.
Absolutely. So the other thing is it has a lot to do with your foundation of your relationship and the way you act to each other in your relationship as well. Because if you are allowing other things to come in, you are allowing other things to attach to your life, your marriage, which you turn around and you bring into your home, and then it's not peaceful. So that's always really important too, to make sure that you're being careful what you let attach to you.
Right.
Where are you at? What are you doing? So one of the things that I find really interesting is reality shows. Everybody loves a good drama. I'm the first to love a good drama. Love me some Grey's Anatomy. Always some drama.
Okay. I get it, but I can't do it.
He can't handle the suspense. He has to watch cartoons.
I'm sorry, I'm very empathic, and stuff like that, I can just feel the energy coming off of it. It's like, God, I can feel the drama, and the drama doesn't set well with my frequency, so I'm not.
So, it's so funny to me. And I was just sitting down the other day with one of our nurses, and I was watching a reality show, and I watched, a good hour of it or whatever, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, it was just not good for my energy. But the thing that was so entertaining to me was that, okay, so they take couples, and they have 4 sets of couples, and then they have like 4 extra single people, okay? So they take the couples and they separate them. And then the 4 women are over here, and they give them 8 men. And then over here, they give 8 females. Now, the couples are on there, and they're like, I just love him. He's my light. He's like, man, I really like her. I'm digging her. I think she's going to be the one. But, I just got to make sure my options out there are good. What? So then they turn around, and I promise, I'm going to show you how this all circles around to the chaos.
It sounds chaotic already.
It's already chaotic, right? Okay, so then what happens is they start going out on dates with other people. So you're in a relationship, or you're married, or you're engaged, but you've done this because you want to make sure that your spouse is faithful to you. So you stick them on an island with 8 women or 8 men, and they go on dates every single day. And not just, hey, let's go out and let's sit down and have a talk. Oh, no. They start out with a date or 2 like that, and then before you know it, they're going out on these romantic boat rides. They're going out paddling together. Like, that's Like,
allowing that stupid energy in, something
Then-
that should not be even in the chemistry of a relationship that you're trying to have.
Okay.
I'm just listening. I'm like,
oh, I know, but wait.
keep
I feel like an infomercial. But wait, there's more. Yes, there is. Okay, so then they set up this white tent area that is see-through to the front. It has 3 white walls and a see-through front. And you, after meeting these people, you have the opportunity to say, would you join me? Because see, anywhere else they join, there's always a camera. So if you're like, you know what, I'm really digging this person, you can take this person in this see-through door tent, and the whole front of it is see-through. So everybody can see what you're doing, but there's no cameras there. Now, when you go into that tent, your spouse on the other island, their light turns on so that they know that you are in that tent that they cannot see cameras in, but they know you're in there with someone. All I can tell you is hell no. Point blank. Because, okay, first of all, you're not supposed to invite temptation in. Period.
Right.
And if you
Any
have
case.
none, the Bible says that he won't tempt you beyond your measures. And it also says whatever temptation there is, he will always give you a way out. So that being said,
So if you fall short to the temptation, that's on you. Because
That is correct.
you had a way out.
God will always give you a way out, always. And so, if you're out and about and you're doing your thing and, you see someone and maybe that stirs an emotion in you and you're like, oh, this is not, and you know that this is not a good situation for you. But you're like, I'm just going to stay and have a drink with this person. Oh, I'm just going to sit for 10 more minutes with this person.
Yeah.
But in your heart, this is not a good situation for you. God's given you a way out. He's told you need to go.
Oh, yeah, right.
That door is right there. All you got to do is go.
Right.
The other thing is, it says,
I don't think people today aren't really stand up. It's just a lot of followers, not really stand up to
True.
say, I'm not going to do this. This is not what I'm going to do. This is not what I'm a part of. This is not going to work for me. This is just...
well, and in Psalms, David is praying, he's singing, and he's telling the Lord, he's like, keep me away from these experts of evil. They go on to say, guide me away from temptation. So if you are supposed to be guided from temptation, if you are supposed to be keeping away from the experts of evil, and he's always giving you a way out. If you're putting yourself on an island, you're not giving yourself a way out. You are going straight into the arms of evil. You are putting yourself in the way of all this chaos. And then, this is the kicker of all kickers. They're like a week into this and they're going, I can't even believe he went out on a date. I can't believe she's doing this to me. But at the same time, they're over here doing the same exact thing.
The root of that is, I can't believe you're even on that show. To stress it, to test it. It's like, just because the door is open don't mean you have to go in it. Everything that glitters ain't gold if it sounds good. It's not always good. Think about, where you repercussions and consequences. I always think about it.
And then like on the third, so after that's happened, and they get to do videos. They actually make videos and then they take it back and they know that each other's watching this and they're saying things that could be that are very hurtful to the relationship. Now, by the third, after this has happened, now they done went into the tent, they done whatever, but everybody knows whatever that was. But now the person on the other end's going, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. How could they do this to me? You put yourself in that. You put yourself in chaos. Now, mind you, I know that what I just told you was an extreme, but how many times do we literally put ourselves in extreme chaos?
Right. And then look for peace.
Exactly. There's you
can't-
went
can't-
against
you
every
can't look,
biblical.
You can't look for peace in chaos.
No, you've went against every biblical, every spiritual, every, if you're that person who wants to chant and do smoke and hum, whatever, I'm just saying, I don't know. You can't do that. And that's where you find your peace and then turn around and be like, oh, I'm going to go put myself in a blender and turn it on high. And then come back and be like, I don't know why I'm chanting and I can't find peace. I don't know why I'm praying and I can't find peace. You can't find peace because you are deliberately putting yourself in the path of evil, in the presence of evil experts. You're deliberately doing that.
Right.
So the things that you do, I tell people all the time that if I do something where I've wronged you, if I don't come right back and apologize because I didn't notice it, because normally I'll notice it quickly and then I'm quick to go, hey, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. But if I don't, come back and tell me. Like, don't go home and dwell in that. Don't go home and dwell in the chaos, because then it's going to come back to me and we're still going to be in chaos.
One thing too, like to kick it with me is stay out of other people's
Business.
business. Leave their businesses alone.
Because all you're doing is inviting their chaos into your house.
If someone comes to you for help on something, different scale. But you going just to be nosy to see, you're going to find what you're looking for. So it may be something that wasn't for your eyes. It wasn't for your psyche to have in it. Now you went in, just to be nosy to see what's going on. And now it's something that haunts you. It's something that's on your mind because you had to see, which it wasn't for you to see. And now it's something like you're living with somebody else's demons. Or if you like the gossip or like the talk. It's the energy, the frequency, the sound, the pitch, it's all the same. No matter if you're talking about a different thing, it's all the same. If it's not good, it's still gonna add up to be bad. Mm-hmm. So when you absorb it, when you take it in, when you want to listen to that juice, when you want to drink that tea, I mean, you know why? Everybody listens to tea every now and then, but if tea is the only thing that you're consuming, you're gonna have a problem. It's going to be almost an addictive, repetitive thing to where you're like, why is this happening? Or why is this? And you're looking, and every time something happens, you're thinking about this happened to this person, or this is happening to this person, because you're bringing everybody inside of you. You're bringing everybody's business inside of you. So the best way to stop with everybody else's stress, because I've seen a lot of times where you're home, you can be stress-free in your home. Your house is clean. Yet at the same time, what's on the outside is coming to you. Now you're wearing somebody else's stress. You're worrying about what Darlene can't do. You're worrying about what the Rosemary can't do, or how their mortgage, their payments, their husband, their wives, when you're good at home. And you're letting yourself stress about this, or you're letting it worry upon you when you're carrying somebody else's stress, which isn't good.
No. And I mean, here's the other thing too. If you are walking somebody through their trauma, it's one thing. But also make sure that you are praying before you know you're going into that situation, so that you're not bringing their trauma back into your life. That was definitely something I know I had to learn. I had to learn to make sure, and nobody's saying that, start stomping around the house, a hooping and hollering in prayer. Nobody's saying make a big scene of it. And you might just be talking to that person just in general. And, 1 minute you're talking about, the birds are flying, and then the next minute, all of a sudden it's taking a turn. Nobody's saying either to stop and go, hold on a minute, I need to pray before we talk. Nobody's saying do that, but definitely...
We nearly got to that point.
There was a few...
We nearly got to... I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
We nearly got to that point to where in our youth of our relationship, I would go visit friends, family, just workplaces were hyper and chaotic, and
Very chaotic.
things will happen. We'll probably have an argument. It's about sports or something, just crazy stuff. Yet just the heat of that argument will be on me. Now come home and just be this joking, this, and she be like, whoa. You should have left that where you're at.
I didn't bring that with me.
I didn't, Raina. Yes, you did, because that conversation, that energy that you have, you brought it, and now you just let it loose in the house, and
this house was peaceful before you got here.
yeah, and I want it
now-
out. But I'm like, I'm not saying anything to you. It's like
I'm just telling you what happened. I'm just telling you.
telling me
He
with that
just said this.
energy.
He know. I'm like,
so
you done went from a cool blue to fire engine red.
So that is something where I'm talking from experience. You bring it home, and I'm thinking I'm good, and it just jumped right off you and be like, I'm in the house now. So, and it really made an effect. It would really stir up some mess. So it actually got to the point where it nearly was like I'd come home and she's waiting at the front door with some holy water, like I'm shooting your ass before you come in this house.
We hit you with his whole cup. Pow.
So that's something that, through experience, that, we feel like that's something that somebody needs
Yeah.
to hear to actually help you through that.
Because you may not realize you're doing it.
I didn't.
And here's the other thing. And maybe it's not the hoopla energy. What if it's the energy of that person is depressed?
Ooh.
Because I know I deal.
I hate that depressing energy.
I know I deal with a lot of women that have a lot of upset trauma in their life. And for me on my side, I know that you have to tell me, hey, I'm not this person or I'm not that person. I do this. And I'm like, I know, babe. I know you do. I know. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. But, no, not but, yet. Like, I can see something and I know that it's not you. I know that you change the tires, you do the oil, you wash the car, you do the whole 9 yards and take care of it. But it could be that person was going through a depressing time in their life with the people that are surrounding them. And then I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to be home today. If you want to wash my truck, that'd be great. And then you don't do it. And I'm like, why? And you're like, John, bring it down. Because now I'm getting upset. Like, why aren't you taking care of me? Why aren't you washing why aren't you taking 3 hours to wash my truck? So even with me on my side, I would say that. So that was one of the things that I had to learn to do, was to pray that away, to keep that spirit off, so that I'm not bringing chaos into my home, because we have a very peaceful home. What you mean?
No. I mean, it is peaceful.
Oh, okay. Shoot, we fixing to get about it.
We've graduated to Leave It to Beaver.
So, I can't stand you. So, in one of our other episodes, though, I actually said, be prepared to fall in love with 7 different people when you're married. At least. Because you change. Because the party girl or the party boy that you meet when you first fall in love, and then you go through that stressful financial business, we got to make this work, we can't let nobody know that we're failing, and then you fall in love with another person. It's the same person, it's just different phases in their life. But you in church.
I just want to make sure I get to speak on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
In sanctuary, to be safe. Are we talking?
Really?
I mean, are we talking about these 7 people at different times, or are we talking about these 7 people all at one time? Because
What you trying to say?
Nothing.
But no, you're right. Now we went from a point of being at young and more free, not as structured, just trying to find our way together, trying to have a good time, trying to show each other what we could do or shouldn't do, stepping on each other's toes a lot, but knowing that we wanted to be with each other and have a lot of fun, which was chaotic because it wasn't balanced properly.
It's just part of growth of being in a relationship.
It is. Absolutely it is. And then we went through, the financial era, and now we're in our next growth to where the kids are pretty much out of the house. We are, woosah, hey, empty nest, and loving it. I don't want no babies. None. I ain't looking at somebody else's baby. I need, nope.
So no empty nest syndrome?
No, I got Chandra. I'm good. I'm good. So you go through that, and the thing is it's finding the pros and cons, because every stage in life is going to have the pros and cons. It's important to hold on to the good times from the stage before, let go of the bad times, not bring those bad times into your new time, so that you're not bringing that chaos in, because that's really important. Don't bring your chaos from your past, whether it's from a previous relationship or the relationship you're in. Because if you have that relationship you're in and that relationship is at peace, but you're constantly comparing or bringing up your past that was chaotic, that's going to still cause turmoil and chaos.
Very good point.
And nobody's saying not to share, but you also can't hold that new person in your life responsible for something that somebody else did. And then number two, if you've went through something serious in your current relationship, if you went through this and you decide we're going to make it through this, we're going to knock it out, we got this, that means you don't throw it back up in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. You don't throw it up. If you make the decision to stay with that person,
To let it go.
let it go. And it's hard. I know it is not an easy task to let that go and not bring it up.
She ain't talking about me. I ain't doing that.
No, he has not. He's a good boy. But just in general, you have to let things go. You can't bring it in,
Right.
because if you bring it in, you're bringing in that blender on high.
It's
And then why did you stay with that
It's
person?
demons from another episode, and bringing that baggage, holding on to it, just a deceiver. You're feeding a deceiver, giving him what he wants.
And especially like if you're in a new relationship, and it starts out all butterflies and everything, and then like 3 to 6 months into it, the butterflies start to fade and your reality starts setting in. That's another thing, is that now when you start to see that person in a different light, because the butterflies are starting to go away a little bit.
That relationship thing is a little tricky though, because the person that you've been with were playing all the right cards to do what he needed to get you to a point. Yet the person who's really genuine is gonna go by that same playbook. That's another thing on relationships we'll get to, but the person's gonna go by the same playbook if it's the real
Love
playbook.
bugs.
Only difference is the person before him, her, the person before them actually used the playbook, just defaulted from it. Just
Right.
went away from it. So now you're in and you're going to use the playbook the way it's supposed and play it the way it's supposed to be played, and you have difficulties just
Letting go of how somebody else used that playbook.
right.
They didn't use it for the right reason. And now it's, so-and-so did this too, but, you see where they're at. Well, I'm not that person. But that's
It's an understandable.
That's just inviting more chaos into the life. Another thing is coveting and envy. That'll definitely bring some chaos in your life. If you're coveting someone, something, if you are envious of other people, that definitely brings chaos into a life. Because think about how many times we've heard people say to each other, how do I say this without putting anybody on a spot, that they are not like someone else who has more than them, that they both share. Does that make sense? Probably not, because I'm trying to be political about it. I'm trying to be PC about
Speak the
it.
truth, lady. That's
I
what
am,
we
but
do here. Speak it.
I am, but like I said before, I don't try to put anybody's business out or offend
What are
anyone.
you talking about?
I understand that, but we have some people in our life, and one of the spouses said to the other spouse, "You are not this person. You will never be this person.
Mm-mm.
This is not.
Mm-mm.
This is not. Our life is not their life." So, if you are envious of their spouse, you're constantly comparing your spouse to their spouse. Why isn't my spouse doing this? Why isn't my spouse doing that?
That happens everywhere. That happens. Everybody does it. There is not a couple that does not do that. There's not. I mean, I've gotten a lot of flack just from how I treat you. Like I treat you like a queen. Treat you
Thank you.
like you float on water. Treat you like you're on cloud 9. Just
I am on cloud 9.
I treat you in that manner.
Yes,
and,
you
and
do.
it just it will bother someone who is around you because they don't want to see it on that multitude, because it may cause the person that they're with to ask for it, or it may show their shortcomings of the way they move. So that really does happen, and you hear that a lot from everywhere.
I guess it does happen. Now that I'm sitting
I've
here,
actually heard that.
now that I'm sitting here and I'm
myself.
thinking about all the different people that we've talked to in different scenarios, it does happen a lot more than what I'm thinking. Because I guess I'm really not singling out one person. I was thinking about a particular incident, but now that I'm thinking of like the different conversations that I've had with people, it's,
I'm just thinking about life in general with me. I mean, I've been there.
Right.
I've been there, done that, wore those shoes. Still, people still try to put them on my feet every now and again.
Right.
So.
No, I get it. But the envy of somebody else and what they have, because then you bring that back home and you tell that spouse, you're not that person. You're not them.
That envy is just a grass thing, to where how it is. You think the grass green on the other
Ooh,
side.
but that water bill is so
Oh,
high.
yeah, it may be green on the other side, but the water bill is so much higher over there. So you might want to stay on your side
Yeah.
and continue to just let that drought hit the way it is. you might not have enough to pay that water over there.
Yeah.
'Cause shoot, yeah, you got to worry about fertilizer, nitrates, and all that good
Right.
stuff.
So-
they ain't playing over there.
Don't bring the envy. I mean, you can, and also don't confuse envy with goals. Like what you want, what your goal is. So if you're a paralegal and your friend is an attorney,
To be happy for other people.
yeah, be happy for the attorney friend. And if you're happy being the paralegal, be the paralegal. If you're wanting to strive to be the attorney, then this goes back to what we said before. Set your goals. What do I got to do? Where do I got to go? Honey, what can you do to help me get to where I need to go? If it's something that you all are in agreement on. And, you can always go and you can pick that other person's brain. Hey, how did you do this? What made this work? But as far as sitting back and just being envious, there's a difference.
Right.
And sometimes people confuse that. And if they're confusing that,
You have to let them know it's two type of chaoses that
Right.
you have. So you got an envious, like you say, you got one to where it's kind of just comes on you, that you bring onto yourself, and you have one that that comes from the outside, that energy
Right.
that someone's bringing onto you. The one from the outside is very controllable. You just got to be able to just, like you said, you keep yourself clean, keep yourself focused, and your light will deter anything from the outside. I've had occasions to where people, I've talked to friends and family, and they wanted to come visit, and the word I got, they never came to visit. And I got back that, you know, I couldn't go see him because his spirit, and I just couldn't go to his house because I know the type of person he is. And it really
Yep.
enlightened me on a lot of things, to where this discussion is going, to where, wow.
And the reason why I really wanted to like cover a spectrum of the chaos once we started talking about chaos is because you may be that person that sits there and says, well, my house is clean.
Right.
Or I don't invite this, or I don't invite that, but I'm still single. I can't keep a man. I can't keep a woman.
That's because you got HUD and the government in your house.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh, we're going to X that one out. Just erase.
No, it ain't. That's the devil, too. That's the devil. That's a demon. That's a possession. That is something that we are naturally not supposed to have. You are supposed to say, no, I rebuke you. I want a life. I want a husband. I want a wife. I want the way God structured it. Because
so
once
true.
you put your trust in what you're supposed to
I
put
guess
it
that's
in,
another piece of chaos then, huh? Because think about how hard it is that you can't have somebody in your house, and that when the government shows up, you have to throw them out of your house. You have to get rid of all their stuff so the government can inspect your house to make sure that you don't have a significant other there.
They got to understand, though, it's not a crazy chaos. It's a controlled chaos.
That is true.
It's a chaos that you can't be the best version of yourself because you're locked down to where this entity wants you to be, that you actually cannot elevate to be where you need to be. National.
Stolen potential.
Stolen, siphoned, suppressed, oppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that it's really important that if you're one of those people that are in that, where you're saying, I can't keep a spouse, you know, whatever. There's more versions of chaos than just clean your house.
Right. Like I say, you know, the ones that people bring
Right.
from outside, and the self-inflicted. Self-inflicted is the worst, because those are the ones where it comes to with the addictions. There's something that
true.
what you can't shake off yourself. Something that you're actually putting on yourself, that a burden that you're putting on yourself that you don't need.
True.
So, and the one from the outside is the easiest. Just cut off communication off from people.
And if you don't have the outside coming in, then it helps you when you're trying to battle the other ones, the ones you put on yourself, because you don't have that extra and you're not trying to battle two separate sides. You can focus on what you need to focus on. So that helps. So it goes back to the meatballs on the plate. Control what you can control. Eat what you got to eat so that they don't roll off on the floor. Clean it up. Fix it up.
Right.
So
Best advice I can give you to how to start or how to implement this is, as we said, clean that house first.
Right.
Make sure you are straight. You can't do anything for anybody else if you're not good. You can't do anything for anybody else if you're not straight, if your mental is not good. It's just you're both in the, if you're messed up and they're jacked up, you're both in the boat without a paddle, going upstream or downstream, or go head into the waterfall.
there you go. Going overboard. So, you know, in conclusion, I would say, don't put yourself in harm's way. If you see that it's bad, don't go just because everybody else is doing it. There is such an identity crisis out. And I'm not talking just gender identity. I'm just talking identity period
Right.
with
For someone
people.
to have their own identity.
Yes.
To stand on their own.
Don't be
principles.
afraid. Don't be afraid to have your own identity, because when you stand up and you start having your own identity, that will take some of your chaos and crisis away. It'll take a lot of your chaos and crisis away of what you bring on yourself. And you'll start noticing that people that are like you will start being surrounded by them. And it's not even people that you invited. They just show up out of nowhere. That's God giving you a way out.
And that's topic we will get on of the law of attraction. You attract what you are like.
Yeah. So definitely, don't put yourself in a bad situation like that. Be mindful of where you're at, what you're doing, who you're doing it with. Be mindful of your prayer, the things that come out of your mouth. Think before you speak. There's a whole list of things that's there that can
just stay in practice and stay consistent
Yeah.
with being good. Me, if anybody knows me, the people who knows me know, when I'm leaving, I always say be good. No matter who I'm talking to, I always say be good. Like, oh, I'm always good. Or
I am.
I'm good. Yeah, for me is I can't tell anybody else to be good if I'm not doing it myself. So in order for me to say anything to you, to tell you something, to preach something to you, to teach something to you, I have to actually implement it myself. I have to practice it myself. I don't want to be sitting in front of you, preaching out how to be the best husband in the world and some cheating fool out there. That's not going to happen. I don't want to be telling you how to keep the demons out of your house, and I'm not praying to keep them out of my house myself. I'm not going to tell you to be a great person, to look out for other people and help other people if it's something that I'm not doing for myself. I'm not going to put anything or say anything to anybody that I don't implement within myself. So I'm always talking to myself first. So that is, in saying that, when people say you always think about yourself or you always do it, yes. Because if you can't do it for you, you can't do it for anyone else.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to close tonight, and thank you for joining us at this episode. If you have any questions or any topics that you may want us to, talk about or bring up, or even, mention you with the question or read your question, just, go ahead and hit it in the comments below. If nothing else, we're closing. Good night.
Good
Have a good
night.
one. Thank you.